No, they wouldn't have gotten control. I was miscounting. So we're good there. They're also going to get out of this 2, 3, taken away from the 1, 2, 3 from the ARVN, and they get 3 to theirs. 1, 2, 3. That's pretty good for them. They need to start building some bases. Well, they only have 1 more, so actually all they need to do is start taking control of these spaces, which they're getting into a pretty decent position to start to do that. We already see our second coup card, so it must have been the top of that 8 card stack, so there's going to be 8 cards until we even have a chance for another coup, but came up quickly. Another momentum card right before the coup. The VC, or the NBA, took the event last turn. VC passed so that they could be eligible on this card, just to put pressure on them to not take this event. They're not going to take, the ARVN's not going to take this event because it's only going to have an effect for 1 turn. We are in monsoon, so no sweeps, marches, airlifts, or airstrikes. Or no sweeps or march. Airlift and airstrike are max 2 spaces. So the ARVN's going to have to try to figure out how to get control of some of these spaces before the coup. I still don't think, I don't think there's 10 for them to get on the board without giving something else up. But they're going to try for it. And here's the board right before our second coup card. Not a ton has changed. These 2 cards coming so close together hasn't left a lot of room for maneuvering. Coin still has plenty of resources. They're 7 away from winning. For the ARVN, the US is 11 away. VC is pretty far away. They're, let's see, 13, and the NBA are about 6 away. The NBA hadn't really had time to make their move yet. I think it would be hard to get an early win with them. Same with the VC. They haven't had a chance to really kind of cause havoc. But they're not, at the same time, they're not letting the US or the ARVN really get control of the country. The ARVN player is definitely the closest. They have plenty of control. Actually, they don't have control here, do they? So that's going to be -2 there. Yeah, and I'll double check everywhere. I think that's the only place that is going to be like that. Yep. So we'll do this and then come back, but now everyone's just going to get more resources. I don't think too much is going to have to change, but we'll see how it looks afterward. The ARVN would have liked to have had the Honolulu conference happen before that last coup. This puts them pretty close. They're 4 away. If they can gain control of this province and this one and one other, they're set. Maybe Quingnam, although that's going to be hard to get back. The US are up. They need to gain support, and they need control to do it. Well, I guess they don't need, yeah, it needs to be controlled. So they're going to try to figure out how to get troops where they need them, but they don't have bases out to do that. So we'll see what they do. And the NVA is in their victory conditions. They were able to march around the board, get some spots. I didn't mark this space. They start with a lot of bases on the map already, and then from there they're just trying to capture control. The U.S. was within one of their victory condition. That VC did some. There was some police brutality that happened here that hurt that and helped them a little bit. The VC is still way away from their victory condition. They can get potentially 3 more points from bases, but it seems like they're going to be pretty tough to win with. The U.S. has gotten pretty close to being in the zone. The ARVN has as well. I think too much so, to where both the U.S. and the NVA jumped on them. The U.S. completely pulled out of a couple areas to stop them from having so much control. So I don't know. It's a tough balance for everything. There are 9 cards here, so with this card flip, we're potentially in coup territory. The U.S. is up. They don't really like this event. It's taking resources every time there's a trail number change. There's only one lower for it to go. So the U.S. is probably going to try to train so that they can increase this. They'll build support here, which gets them 1, and that's going to cost 3 resources. They can only do that in 1 space, though. And so that's going to end up being their whole turn unless there's a special activity they want to do, which there might be. And they had to help the ARVN player to hurt the NVA player, taking control back in this space. And in this space, the fine balance with the U.S. in the middle. Imagine that. They're still 3 points away. It's a lot easier for the ARVN to take control of places than it is for the U.S. to gain support. So that's that. An interesting card, the McNamara Line. Basically makes all of the forces in Cambodia and Laos redeploy. I had some questions about this card with what does forces outside Vietnam refer to. What they've done in the playbook for this, and I don't think it's in the other games, is it gives you what the card actually means, and then a little bit of background on it, which is really, really helpful. There have been a few cards that it's just not super clear what it means, and this completely clears it up and gives you tips on how to use it. So as nice as that would be to take resources away, there's no redeploying that would happen. This card's actually much better for the NVA, so they're gonna pass. This card place up to 10 NVA troops anywhere within 1 space of North Vietnam. I guess that's not quite as good as I was thinking. It was outside again. Yeah, that's maybe not as good, but they're still gonna take it. And we have our last coup card right after Masher White Wing. The VC is eligible, and then it'll be the ARVN for one last stab at it. The ARVN's close. The NVA are in their zone, so the VC is going to try to stop them. They're going to take this event. They're going to do 3 free marches with 3 free ambushes. So that's going to be 1. They're going to have to do it into some NVA spaces to take those. So maybe they do like this. So that takes that. So that'll drop these guys down 1. And they have 1 more space to do it in. Again, they could do it here to kind of terrorize everybody. So that would be enough to take this. These guys will be activated and they're going to ambush. So here it's going to be 3. I need another hand. Going to ambush here, here, and here. And this might even take coin control away. We adjusted these already. We have 7, 8. They have 9. Okay, so the coin still has control of that. Otherwise that would have hurt. So that's the event there. The ARVN's up. They need to take control of some spaces. They're not close enough. These are wrong earlier. This I just counted right before I started videoing. It's 5, yeah, 5 and 6 spaces away. So they don't have enough spaces to get into, or access to enough spaces, really. Let's see what they do. And since it's a monsoon, there's not a lot. I really like that they added this because you can't swoop in right as the coup card shows up and do stuff. You have to be already in a pretty decent spot. So what the ARVN's going to do is just assault. They'll do it here, here, and here. So here it's going to be 1 per 3. Oh, they can't do it here. They don't have enough troops. They can do it here to get rid of that. It's going to be 1 per 2 in the jungle. So that's going to move them down 1. They'll do it here. It's 2, 4, 6. So they can get rid of 3. And in lowlands it's still 2. So that actually gets them control. They jump ahead, and that costs 9. Alright, so that's it. And we do our coup card. So we don't have anyone in victory. Since Cao Kai is the leader, it costs 4 resources to do pacification, but not, it seems, agitation. So this is going to be better for the VC. So we'll see how it shakes out after this round. So we still do all this stuff, and then when we get to a certain spot and check for victory again. This is another interesting point. To pacify, you need police there. I didn't spend enough. So even though there's support here, or there's control here, the U.S. can't pacify it because there's no police. Same thing here. They would like to be able to at least take that away. You can only do well, but they can't. There's no police there. So the ARVN can pacify now. There's no reason for them to. It gets the U.S. support, so they don't want to do that. Now the VC are going to be able to agitate, and they don't have as many restrictions, so they can do. You can only do 2 levels, so they can get this to 1 by paying 1, 2. So that takes there, gives them 1. Where else can they do it? Looks like that's it. Yeah. Now we have to redeploy. all the ARVN troops have to go back to the city. So we have 6 there, and that's still controlled. This is no longer controlled by them, so they go down to, they go up to. Looks like that's it. The VC get to move around now, or the NVA get to move around to their bases. They don't have to leave spaces, but they can go to their bases. There's no reason for them to do that. They want to keep their guys where they are. That lets them mass up for an assault or for an offensive. So that's going to be game end, and that gives it to the NBA. They're 1 away. The U.S. is 4 away. So that's it. I think it does seem like it's easier. The NBA have the easiest time winning because they're so flexible. But with strong, if the U.S. and ARVN player are very strong and very aggressive, they can knock out the VC or the NBA. But they're definitely positioned well to take it, especially on a quick turnaround like this. So really, the short game is pretty short. 20, potentially 24 cards. I ended with 5 left over. That's just the right amount of time. I would say 2 to 3 hours playing opposed. That's about 5 minutes. If you take about 5 minutes a card, that's not a very long game at all. It's a great one. I'm gonna keep playing this. It's gonna be at the top of my list. It's probably going to replace a distant plane for me. I'm not sure if I'll keep both of them. I got rid of Andean Abyss when I got a distant plane. I don't know that I can see myself breaking that one out as much as I love it over this one. People seem to be hesitant to play that conflict. Vietnam, I guess, has a little bit longer to settle. Well, a lot longer to settle in people's subconscious. So that's Fire in the Lake. Probably my game of the year already. Thanks for watching.